Hello everyone, welcome to another video. It's me, Solid, and great to have you here. So, a couple of things seem to have happened. A week has gone by, and I haven't uploaded a couple of videos, basically. Been a little tired, mostly, kind of like working a couple of things. Class, health checkup, it's kind of nice. But yeah, been alright other than that, but, yeah, also had headphones arrive, so now I can stream my ears out because I can actually hear myself a little bit better, kind of. Not that it really matters that much, but regardless, hopefully y'all are having a wonderful week so far. Although I know it's been a little rough in some places down in Florida. Hopefully y'all are staying safe. If you have been evacuated, hopefully y'all are staying safe, making sure that you're okay. But yeah, so we've had a couple of events happening. They dropped a collab that I wasn't particularly quite as interested in, but it did drop. It's not necessarily the worst one. It is a bit of a mixed bag with me personally. And the reason behind it is the characters are kind of okay. One character's attractive, the other one is kind of meh, and the third one's actually really good. For what he is and kind of on his own. We're actually going to review it as well as the new Double Trouble banner that dropped. I was so impressed by this that I couldn't believe this. They dropped this. They finally, from what I'm aware of, they finally released the first Double Shadowfest banner. This is, and you could tell me I'm wrong. I haven't seen one like this, especially a revival banner. That's why I'm kind of like intrigued by this one. Although I shouldn't really summon on this one because I'm not interested in Shadow personally, and I already maxed out Aurora, so it's nothing super crazy for me to get. But this is the first time I've seen them, and like the first time I've sort of like really noticed it, if anything. But yeah, if you are looking for a good time to start, it might be around that time, especially since anniversary is coming up. Really think about what's going on, because I think it possibly in next month, 19 days, they're actually gonna drop the actual Shadowfest, which may end up being even crazier than this one. So please be aware of that. Don't summon just to summon. They are good characters. And if you're starting out, it's not the worst banner to start out with, but be aware, anniversary is dropping soon. So, most likely in 19 days is when we actually see the the second year anniversary coming up. And I do believe Aurora may have been part of the first ANNI. I'm not entirely sure. I will have to double check. First anniversary. Master of Garden. I don't think she's part of that one. You know, Shadow was part of first anniversary, I think, most likely. Yeah, I believe it was this Shadow, actually. No, I think it's the blue Shadow, I believe. Yeah, the first Shadow was, yeah, it's been about a year ago. So yeah, definitely the thing from what I'm seeing on that stuff. It's been about a year. Yeah, we even have the announcement stream, guys. They are actually announcing the anniversary. It might be coming up in. It's been about a year already. Yeah, no, some people are just summoning. Yeah, they wanted to spend money on some of these banners. I'm good. I already I already have Aurora max, so it's something I really need to pull on. I have her max. So y'all are having it rough out there. I see you. Like I'm very Reddit right now a little bit because I was like, hey, I wonder how they're doing. But yeah, no, they are. Yeah, they wanted to summon a dual banner. Yeah, no. Yeah, if they're dropping this in front of us is the biggest thing. Because these ones are okay. These are nice. These are okay. I personally find them whatever. Dropping a dual Shadowfest is crazy. And like, I'm glad they're finally doing it because this actually showcases that they're actually not making revenue from the regular singular rivals. It might actually be making the money, but the fact that there's only one is kind of like, oh, okay, wait until the character you like actually comes out. So having to wait for it is the biggest thing. It's a little bit obnoxious. I know. I totally get it. There is apparently an announcement stream that's happening on October 27th. So be aware that at least the announcement is on October 27th. So it's most likely, 27th is when they announce it. Most likely when we're going to actually get it is going to be in the 31st of Thursday. So you have a few hours to really see if the banner is going to be good or not, realistically. Maybe if you find some leaks, so to say, that might be something you might be looking forward. But yeah, no. So we had a couple of banners to talk about. Dual Shadow Fest, of course, anniversary is coming up. Be aware of that. Nothing else I can really say is just put it on your list. Do not summon if you want to get perhaps broken meta units. Let me double check something. Interesting, actually. Huh, that is fascinating. Okay, so you can have double crest in that one. Actually, I was actually playing a Grand Summoners, and I realized I just got a really nice crest. Well, we'll be making a video on that soon. I was just kind of like AFK farming because some of these fights take 3,000 retries. But regardless, aside from that, hopefully y'all are doing well. And I got a little distracted. Pardon me. But yeah, no, we have a Jungle Trouble banner with Aurora and Shadowfest Green Shadow. So this is probably I believe this is the second Shadow, most likely. So he is a bit of a big deal. So be aware that he is something we have to work towards, if anything. Most likely we are going to get a ton of gems, because if you haven't gotten your gems now, please do log in. I did happen to snag some gems when 10/10. So yesterday we got a couple of things. They also kind of dropped an extra 10 pull, an extra single pull, like an extra pull as well. So they give us 3,300 from that for compensation issues. But yeah, no, so the collabs here, I will be making like normal standard, like, hey, this is how I clear it, this is how I'm clearing it. Most likely it's going to be the same thing as before. It's probably going to be easier, completely easier than the other stuff. Most likely because I actually have red units, so it's nothing crazy. This is definitely much easier for me, as well as since I have a lot of red characters, I actually get like a really nice. Oh, mother of God, you're lying. Wow. I actually can see this bonus, actually. That's kind of funny. I can actually see this one. That's funny as well. I have her as well, so I get an extra 2%. I have her like twice, so I get an extra 9%. I don't have these characters, so it's whatever. But I get actually a decent bonus. Let me actually double check that one. I don't know what my bonus actually is, but it should be pretty good. But yeah, no, aside from that, so what might end up dropping might end up entirely destroying the meta, because I think it goes from red. What did we go from? Well, I think we went from blue. Then it's kind of red and green. I need to double check something. Actually, I also need to write this on my notepad. October notes. Collab. First dual Shadow Fest. So this is kind of crazy. And ANNI. And hopefully you guys are having like by the time you must be seeing this, or by the time you like the banner drops, yeah, it's gonna be a bit, but October's gonna roll right up. So have a happy Halloween if you are already watching this from there. I appreciate your view. I appreciate you watching rather. But yeah, no, seems just pretty good. It's quite something. Like I won't lie. It's kind of like a little bit hyped. I'm a little bit more tired than I intended to be. I'm gonna do my daily summon. Hope maybe we get something. Video luck, streamer luck, something. Maybe. Hold on. No, nothing. It's a standard day. That's fine. And as much as I like someone in this banner, this is a bit of a 50-50 win. If I get the character, it's kind of bad. It's a 50% chance of me getting like a decent character, which is not bad. Because the thing is, what? Yeah, it also has like a 50% boosted rate banner, which is actually peak. I think Aurora, and it was a, from my understanding, was a 2% or 200% drop rate, I believe. That's the first time I think they did that. So it's really nice. Let me check. Let me double check. Because I saw like Aurora, if I remember, was like a really nice banner to pull on. Period. Also managed to reply to somebody because I just forgot that they told me about it. Yeah, no, let me double check. Let's see. Your channel. But yeah, no. Wow! Wow. People are really liking that video. Holy crap. Well, thank you guys for watching, but, let's see. Oldest, community, popular. I need to search for Aurora. Aurora. I'll have it right up. Yeah, New Year limited 2x chances to get SS characters. Yeah, no, Aurora was a limited New Year's character, so she came like right after ANNI, so it was really good. So also be aware that once anniversary drops, you have this amount of time. December hits, September. A lot of things are happening. November's probably going to be a bit of a dead month, personally. December's going to be kind of a little bit hype. Probably a lot of revivals. At this point, I don't need a new character. I'm hoping to at least maybe snag a dupe of somebody. Both of these would be another nice to get a dupe. To get some of the old Santa units would be kind of great for me, personally. I'm kind of like just kind of giving like an interesting, just kind of like anniversary's coming. I'm hyped. I'm kind of like a little bit stressed, tired. A lot of emotions. Everything's so happy. I'm so happy. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday as well. Hopefully I actually get to release this on time, unlike most of the videos. I still have like 6 videos sitting on my thing. But aside from that, let's actually check out the characters and actually see what would be worth to summon on, because realistically, these characters are really nice. They're just good, period. Recovers HP of all allies, resist boost rate for all green elemental allies except self. By 65% for 25 seconds, and then 75% for 30 seconds if you're maxed out. That's actually kind of crazy. Wow. That's not okay, actually. Shields damage of the first ally in line for 15 seconds. Further decreases defense by 20% for 15 seconds if 7 shadows. Unleash. Well, Unleash yields a damage of all allies for 15 seconds, races on attack. How do you unleash? Damage received for a single enemy, but wow. Inflicts 700 damage. How do you... What? What the fuck? How do you... What? Shadow Judgment, Shadow Grace, Shadow Shield. What? When the hidden technique is activated after recovering own SP by 1000, SP starts to decrease by 70 per second and enters Unleash mode until SP becomes 0. That's kind of gross. No wonder people keep running really well. If the battle takes longer than it already does, you're kind of just goners. Again, Shadow is kind of like a build-up character. And even in the show, he kind of is a build-up. You can't kill him, like, most often than not. It's, like, nearly impossible to. So it kind of makes sense for him to be like that. But yeah, no, 2 Shadowfests that are good, period, is truly, truly disgusting. I have Aurora Shadows a goat, I guess. I know if it was me, I would at most choose this one. I think they don't, like, everybody else doesn't compare to this one. Not really, no. Especially since your chances of getting them is, what is it, like? Actually, it's about the same, right? It's about the same. It's 2 chances to get an event here. 2 true chances to get the good characters. It's a 32% chance, which is a little bit lower, but you also have a higher chance of getting the characters, period. Especially as the probability is about the same between the 2. I mean, if you don't have either of these characters, they're both really decent. Aurora kind of increases her own speed by 100% easily. Nothing to necessarily break about. But yeah, no, she's. I didn't even know. I have never seen, like, actually taken a look at Shadow because I've never been able to actually look at him. Not much less really actually care for him. Because it's like one of those, like, units you need, like, good Shadow Guard characters. I don't even know if I have a good tank that's a Shadow Guard. Yeah, I don't have a tank that's. Oh, actually, I do, I guess. A couple of good ones, actually. Damn. It's decent. It's really decent, actually. A Shadow Garden team would be fantastic. Yeah, no, that team wouldn't actually be that bad. However, like, I do think that the Monotherianthrope team is really crazy. But aside from that, let's go actually back here. Because I like this. I like the double trouble banner. That's kind of like one of its own, or one of the first of its kind, pretty much. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about him because Aurora kind of. I think I've dealt, like, I've made a video on her. I would suggest kind of watching that one specifically. I go a little bit more in depth, and it's kind of just pretty much the way I describe her is she grants herself a buff called Demon Power, which increases speed, power, and chance to crit. I think it's not crit damage, it's crit chance, speed, and damage output. So there's three of those things, right? So if for every buff, for every stat, or for every demon power she gets, which I believe also is the same for the in the case for because she's not the only one that has that buff. I think Blue, what's her name? I want to say Chloe, but it's not. It's not that. Yeah, Blue Claire. And she also has the same power. Yeah, Dancing Sword, Grand's Wave, Grand's Demon Power himself for 60 seconds. Further increases crit attack, so crit damage by 40%. So it's really nice character. Further shields, yep. If it's human, that's whatever. Nope. Yep. Grand's Demon Power himself. So she can like basically buff herself up a lot. The best thing about Aurora herself is that she can actually grant it not just to herself, but she actually can become a bit of a buffer, especially, and I mean especially if you actually have, grants himself. She grants 4 demon power, which increases the max damage cap by like, it's not damage cap, but like max output by like 100% or like 200%, I think is what it is, which is really good. Which basically makes your 2000 damage hit really good. So this one, also not that one. Ends with death. Yeah, this one. So this is actually one of the best things that you can actually have, because I know Claire's nice. She's really nice, but Grand Demon Power on single ally with highest attack for 10 seconds. Well, it has been shown that it's heard most of the time, for at least in my case. If you ever get a red demon ally, one red demon ally with this bonus, instantly better. Not to mention, Aurora herself hits damage cap every time. I have never not hit damage cap with her in an ultimate. Never. Never happened. My meta for her is alt rushing, killing the team, and moving on. That is my meta. That is as fast you can kill any character so fast, especially at rank 18 now. You can actually get through a lot of content really quickly. Especially since her damage got buffed with that one. And actually, I've been working on a couple of these guys getting like rank 18. But aside from that one, Aurora's really nice. She has buffing potential, albeit not as strong as some other ones. The fact that she is primarily a damage dealer, and the fact that she has potential to help somebody else is the disgusting part. She has so much potential, so much power. It's just good. It's just a good Shadow Fist. Especially when you pair it up with 2 of them, crazy. And while it is actually a little bit better to pair her up with somebody that actually causes a bleed, since her, since I believe her ultimate, at least at the maximum, stacks up it's multiplicative of bleed, which means you can actually do an extra 20 times 500, which is 1,000, an extra 1,000. So you max out at 2,000. You could actually, in theory, get higher, because you inflict 20 bleeds in a minute. Which, while nice, it can get better. It's the crazy part. And I may actually finally start looking to trying to see if I could actually clear the newer, not the challenge mode, because the challenge mode is just crazy. The higher difficulty on the guild. I don't think I'm not necessarily going to be able to clear it per se, but I think it's certainly going to be up there at least. But aside from that, so we got another selection character, and this is kind of where they dropped the ball, I think, on these characters. We're gonna double rate them, but I definitely don't think they're quite as good. So each time damage is received, it raises its own speed by up to 10%. Actually, 10%. Has cooldown on 3 seconds. So after, honestly, if you take this amount of damage, speed is nice. There are other characters that can already boost your speed, especially since there's characters that will outdo this character in speed instantly. Aurora being one of them. Kind of will outspeed him real quickly. It's not necessarily the best one. This one may actually be the best part he has. Each time damage is received by an ally raises its own attack by 15%, and then inflicts 30% damage on a single enemy with highest attack multiplied by speed buffs effects on self. Actually, it's not bad. Yeah, so the problem is that there's a cooldown on this for 3 seconds. So each time ally is received with... Yeah, so I think you can only receive 1 buff is the main thing, or one extra buff. And it only lasts 10 seconds, so you can at most have like a couple of buffs. And even when you boost like to 15%, unless it works as in each ally gets an extra gives you an extra 15% extra attack, it's not quite as good, especially with the 3-second cooldown. Because 15 seconds or 10 seconds is kind of enough for somebody to die, pretty much, unless you're like super stupidly tanky, which you can be. I don't think the new one necessarily has that best good of resistance, to be honest. This is the first skill. Tora Hishigi raises his own speed by 10% for 15 seconds, up to 5 times. Further raises attack by 20% for 15 seconds, so you can actually raise your speed up to 50% with that one, which is, well, nice. It doesn't necessarily... Yeah, no, this is actually not bad. The 40% extra attack is pretty good. It's an AoE, which affects you hit twice, which is kind of nice. Enemy of the highest attack. I mean, you just hit everybody. Like that's fine. That's 400% on everybody. That's fine. Oh, it also inflicts knockback. That's not bad, I guess. I do think there's a lot of characters that actually have knockback resist, I believe. So I guess... Yeah, I'm not sure. It's not actually necessarily like a debuff. It's not the best thing ever. Let me double check. Are you immune to knockback? You might not be. She's immune to most buffs, period. Yeah, that's what I have. That's fine. A little attack. Inflicts damage. Okay, that's not bad. Assuming he lives that long. Inflicts 100% damage multiplied by number of speed buffs on self. You see, the problem with some of these single damage caps kind of thing is that these may actually hit damage cap before they can actually hit. And if they do hit, like, proper damage numbers, it's a bit of a weird one, because that means you would have had to summon on the other characters to get it. He's not bad. Not quite as good as I would want to be, especially since there's, like, more characters that just would, like, make your eyes just, like, awestruck and, like, this is good. She was kind of one of them, I believe. Recovers on HP by 100% of attack, further raises attack by 50%, 15 seconds. That's on... I don't think it's self. No, it is self. And then... That's kind of meh already on its own. This is kind of really meh like, upgrade. Even assuming you can heal yourself up to, what, 3,000? That's not really that good. Yeah, that's not that good. There's an extra health is kind of meh. And that's a rank 19, mind you. Then we're gonna check out Nikomata Firebolt. Let's see, upgraded. Yeah, no, it's kind of... That is so ass, actually. It fixes 600% of damage on a single enemy. That's bad, actually. This is kind of like the good ones. This is like the good buff, actually. Raises own defense of 30% for 15 seconds, and grants going to recover an allies who have 50% of attack. This is the nice part. Still the same amount on attack, which is, again, not necessarily that good. I think if you're looking for an actual healer, there's better ones than this one. Especially since this doesn't go up. The defense is kind of nice. I don't think it grants, like, taunt, I don't think. It does have, like, this effect called Lucky Lecher Lure, which does inflict provoke, so that's not bad. It also inflicts Lucky Lecher Lure for 10 seconds, also lowers enemy speed by 10%, which, mind you, with Aurora having, like, the instantaneous buffs, and I don't know if everybody else has this, and most people are actually kind of, the buff can be removed is the main issue. If the buff couldn't be removed, it'd be really nice, but it can be removed, and we have buff cleansers like new, and debuff cleansers like new, which basically make a lot of the buffs basically pointless. And if we take a look at battle, and by the way, like if you're running like a red character, like you're kind of having to reapply the buffs like a bunch of times, right? But we actually check around what Lucky Lecher Loot does. Is for each stack, lowers damage inflicted by 10% and raises the damage received by 10%. Which, well, nice, is kind of meh. This is one of those things that I'm like, oh, for each stack, okay. So while I don't think there's like an actual proper stack max, it is kind of one of those things that I'm like, it's a little too complicated to really say how good it is, but it only activates when you activate this, right? And you only activate one once the skill is activated, which, unless the skill activation is really fast, it can be kind of mediocre. Overheal is fine. That's assuming you overheal like the health, you deal damage. Problem is like when you have block magic blockage on most characters nowadays, kind of end up having an issue. Yeah, each time damage you receive inflicts Lucky Lecher Lure on single enemy with highest attack. This has a cooldown, by the way, which is fine, but at the same time, a 3-second cooldown is enough to kind of kill you. I think people are using it. We're actually going to double check that and turn PvP at the moment. Let's see if anybody's actually using it in actual practice. People are using Aurora. Okay, so using this one's at level 10. Alright, 10. I kind of wish I could go back and like fight him a little bit, but I can't. And I'm like number 5 at the moment, so there's not much I can do. Can I try and see if I can fight him and see how it goes? The problem is like 5k difference on extra stats is big enough that it's just tedious to try anything. This is not the greatest of teams. This is not bad. It's just weird. A weird synchronicity. There's insynchronicity. This is a good team. This is a good one. They just need to level their characters up a little more. This is not a bad one. You know, this one I would like to fight it, but I'm not allowed to. Again, most people using meta teams are using mono-human teams, which is... I fought this thing. I still don't think I can beat it. I doubt it. I still can. We can try it. I have a half mono-human team, which is not bad. If I had a ANNI Rose maxed out, it would definitely go a little bit better, but I doubt. So if I try this now, it's gonna go like as good as you'd expect. Aurora is much better than everybody else in here. But the problem is ANNI Rose is the king in there. That as well as, if we actually check how the battle goes, you can actually check how, you can actually see what I mean exactly. It's a mono red team versus mono red team teams, pretty much. The thing is, right? Yeah, no, that instant buff and evasion kills my characters instantly. Instantly. No, that's not the issue. You fail to see what just happened to me. She took a lot of damage. Damage inflicted. She didn't do any damage, and I don't know. Damage received 4K, 4K, 15K in an instant, and I can't hit him. I don't know what they're actually doing, to be honest, because that just seems a little bit busted, to be honest with you. And I think it has to do with really her, and her just giving them an instant speed buff as well. Which, while I could do, I'm still working on it. Because I think she's also part of the reason why they're really, like, popping off. Yeah, I think it has to do with her SS Plus weapon, I believe. Which grants humans an 80% boost in speed. And damage inflicted by 20%. Also shields her damage by 60 seconds, which is kind of decent. But speed, that's the main thing. Them hitting instantly is the main issue. I think Anna Rose, but who's it? Because if I had a Rose, that would also help a ton. No, because I guess, because I have her maxed out higher. The thing with her is that she causes bleed, and I have her on the team. I just kind of have no clue with that one. I know she's good. Yeah, Shadow's much better, but like Exterminate, yeah, it's kind of okay. Innocent Creed inflicts Seal. Seal is the biggest pain in the ass as well. Yeah, no, you're not part of the Shadow, so you can steal that much. Innocent Creed. Merciless Blade, sort of damage in own damage inflicted by 50%. That's fine. Is it this one? Is it the weapon? Recovers own HP by 30%. That's kind of whatever, actually. I think it just might be Anna Rose and really little old Cherry there. Getting hit that hard is kind of like the main issue. Oh, you know what? I know for a fact that she hits really hard AoE-wise. It's either her or somebody else. Nope. Nope, I don't know what it is. I should check her nuke level, I guess, I get a little bit again. Oh! That doesn't help. And that doesn't help. Okay. I'm gonna go back to my room where I get my assets from you for number 3 or number 2. Yeah, it makes sense. Number 1's just too much of a go to this one is a problem. Yeah, I think if you reach like level 1, you get like a bunch of extra stuff, I think. But regardless, actually getting back into the topic, and I apologize for getting back off of it. It's just trying to see if she's actually useful is a bit of a tedious thing because you see it over time. Some characters actually get used more. The mono green Therianthrope name was something I theorized back in the day. Didn't expect that I was ever gonna see it. The time I saw it, I was flabbergasted. Genuinely flabbergasted. You can't run against them with a red team. Period. They are either a mixture of too tanky, too much synergy, and just being disgusting. That's it. There's nothing else to it. Synergy, tankiness, everything packed together at level 19 rank. It's crazy. It's nasty. It's great. Anyway, aside from that, let's actually talk about the king, the actual king, Asakusa. King of Destruction Asakusa is actually And I think I'm saying it wrong. It's just King of Destruction. It's just King of Destruction, Benimaru. My man here has a reigning thing, or he's a reigning king, period. And by that I mean, my man has a really good weapon and buff. 50% attack and 50% speed. Instant. No questions. Just from his weapon. That's his goddamn weapon. Asakusa's King of Destruction. For each status ailment each time a status ailment is inflicted, cancels all status ailments on self, further raises attack by 10% for 20 seconds, inflicts 2 damage on single enemy with highest attack. So they're trying to kill your main DPS. Then, each time it's damage inflicted by self, raises some damage by 10%, which is not like the biggest thing. This is fine. This is whatever. This is nice. It's just extra stuff. You raise your attack by 10%. Each time a status ailment is inflicted, you can't debuff this man. And it's a little bit kind of the buff. It's just already adding to the 50% speed and 50% attack, which may be capped out by the other guy, but I think this is instant. This is instant gratification. We're about instantly winning a fight. The difference between somebody towards the end game is the difference between me and the other guy is he can clear the fight in 3 seconds. You didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. The other guy didn't see anything either. 3 seconds is always enough, but I digress. His attacks are kind of normal. He deals 2 attacks on 2 enemies. They're a little bit less complex than the other one. Matori Thrower, also, they just target your main DPS. They have 5 chances to crit. And then he also inflicts up to 4,000 damage on like 3,000 as a enemy. And all of them. While he's not the most complex one, he definitely is the most instant, in-your-face, killing blow kind of thing. And I do believe these guys actually have a spot. Now, actually looking back at it a little bit more, he has a good potential for some of the raid bosses, or some of just guild bosses as well. So he's not necessarily the worst thing ever. Having that much of a build-up can sometimes be a little bit obnoxious, especially in stuff like PvP, and he's necessarily actually looking at it now. It's not the worst thing. I do think there are characters that can kind of outclass him kind of pretty fast, especially if the deciding factor is 30 seconds or not. But this is not bad, I guess. I kind of skimmed out a little bit more than I intended. Having a more complex buffs is kind of fine. I kind of, actually looking at it now, I personally think he's kind of like one of the instantly strongest characters, and pretty much for the duration of the match. He over here has potential to be really fast. Damage output has some potential, not necessarily the best thing ever. Each enemy is received by an ally, which is must be by 10%, so that's not bad. So 10 every 30 seconds. Cool. And this can get really high. The problem with him is he does need a attack buff to kind of have him have a chance to crit. I think would be kind of nice with him. It's not bad. I would personally go more with him if I had a choice. She's not bad either. It's kind of one of those things where it's kind of they don't have any lock behind certain being red elementals. I think. It decreases for 30 seconds, so it's not bad. It's just kind of she can probably be using this in an area where you're just kind of starting out, clearing story. If you're a green elemental, is the biggest annoyance to me. And the way that they're making it seem is, since this uses provoke and let your lure, which is kind of like a debuffer. this can be seen as a kind of like a secondary, like good tank for story. It's kind of locked behind the if green elemental stuff, which kind of gives me the vibe of this has to be on a PvP kind of character. Inflicts provoke on all enemies for 20 seconds. Also inflicts like electrical. Yeah, that's fine. Also, keep this in mind, you really at most only get an extra 1% buff, which this one's actually not bad, actually. Looking at this one now. Yeah, you get like one extra awakening thing, so this is not bad. Yeah, you awaken skill number 1, which means you're really tanky, actually. Yeah, they're really trying to like. This is just kind of like more of a PvP kind of thing, especially since their ultimate's really kind of mediocre, in my opinion. There are better ultimates. I think his one is really one-sidedly strong. I think he might actually end up having like the problem that he reaches damage cap to his ultimate instantly. Potential damage output might actually go for Kusakabe. He has kind of single target damage and his passive being like really nice. His ultimate's not bad, especially since it kind of is closely comparing to his, which is really nice. This is just straight up 3,500 damage, and then an extra 500% attack, which is really nice. So you can get clear the tank out of the way, and then you can kind of hurt everybody else instantly, which is pretty good. And if you have him upgraded, you can pretty much do a full team wipe. But regardless, I think this is where I'm going to leave it for now. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. I kind of want to make kind of like an update on a couple of things, kind of like going over a couple of things. I was really happy with them. I don't necessarily want to take too long as well to just kind of release anything or release a comment on these ones, because they're just kind of going and just for you to be aware that anniversary is coming. If you're not aware of this, please be aware and like read kind of like more of the news. Check out like they have the Eminence Shadow Reddit. It's kind of like a nice place to kind of figure out some stuff. I haven't seen anything chaotic in there, not really so far. But yeah, aside from that, y'all have a wonderful day and stay solid. Bye bye.